Okay, making a quick video. We gotta make a quick few videos, I guess, because YouTube's got some new rules that they're putting into effect. So I'm making too many videos, I guess, on this channel. It's one of the things that I'm doing wrong. So YouTube's just been deleting those on me. I guess whatever. If I make 7 or 8 videos a day, they're only allowing 5, and I'm not sure what the time is on them. I don't remember. I read the rules a long time ago, but I just seen the emails come through in the last few days. I probably got other ones and I just missed them. Because I don't look at my email all that often. Speaking of emails, I've worked my way up from emails to phone conversations now with Ziggy, and we are going to do a series together, but he doesn't want to be involved with calling out Harald, and I'm not going to stop the series right now for Harold's series. So, Ziggy, I'll continue shooting the shit with you on the phone, and you seem like a nice guy. It'll be fun to do a series with you, and everything that I said, I meant. What I was telling you on the phone, I'm sincere about the things that I'm doing. I'm not. I don't get nothing out of it, So. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you specifically, Ziggy, just because it's more fun. The same way that I do talk to Harold. And then I'm going to ask Ziggy what Ziggy's going to do. Anybody that is watching my channel, what Ziggy's going to do is he's going to imitate a few things. He's interested in the moon. So we're going to continue on with the moon. And I'll show you everything that I can show you so you can see it. And he does already see some of the images that are making up the moon. It's just, I know it's a little weird. It's a little fucking freaky because it's been there all along. That's the weird thing, That's what I was saying in some earlier videos under this series about the moon pictures. There's moon light bulbs, there's moon lamps, there's moon posters. It's been in our fucking face, not to mention we just got the moon right there, it's right there for us to see it whenever we want, we can go and look around at it anytime we want. Nobody ever really looks at it. It's weird. It is fucking weird. But, it's everywhere. So I'm only using the moon as an example to show you that it's image within image from the veil to the ground. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do. So it's not like you've never seen the moon before, Ziggy. And I know the way that I talk, it sounds insulting to you and everything like that. All I can ask is to bear with me on it, on that stuff, because it's like useless for me to argue with shit when people won't even look. So in other words, you're trying to tell me all these things about the moon. And if you won't even go look first, though, you know what I mean? So save the arguments. I'll argue with you a little bit about some of this shit later. But, you have to look first. And I think if you look and you really look, then what's going to happen is I won't even have to argue with you. You'll just be figuring it out because you'll be seeing it for yourself. You know what I mean? So save it. And then you're still going to have like months after you do everything I'm going to show you to do in the moon. Because we'll start out in the moon. Let's just start out in the moon with you building your videos up on your channel, on this new channel that you're going to set up. And go ahead and set those up. And it doesn't matter to me because I'm used to doing 10, 15 videos a day throughout the day anyway. So and now I can only upload 5 to this one particular channel. So to go on another channel and upload another 5 videos that are remasters of your videos. So like if you do what I'm going to do right now over the next 6 to 10 videos probably, because I'm going to really hit the moon hard. I have to under the Harald series. And I won't involve you in this one. I'm just going to shoot the shit with you a little bit as we go along. If we talk on the phone or whatever, I might answer some questions in video form if I feel like, because the thing is, I don't want to feel like I'm the only one that has any say. That's the way, same thing with Rick, when I was working with Rick under, the Tripping Sponge series. He said he went back and looked at some of those old series. I got into some spats and arguments with Rick and stuff, but he defended himself, and he had his own mind, and you guys have a right to think whatever the fuck you want to think. See some body imagery. You guys have a right to think whatever you think, but you have to look at least. Otherwise, it's kind of useless to even be here and argue with me about anything or debate with me, however you want to put it. It's not really an argument with you. It's just a debate. Obviously, I've said some things that interested you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You don't seem like a faker. You don't seem like the person that's blowing up my computers, which, by the way, look, no more computer. Fucking it killed the computer again. I wasn't joking with you. Look, it's gone. I still got a monitor up there, but no computers to hook it up. So I got a pile of them. I got a fucking pile of them. And I know that sounds crazy too. It sounds very conspiratorial. That's why I don't like talking about it all that much. But yeah, it fucking happens. What are you gonna do? So another fucking computer. I go through like 2 or 3 a year. But I did notice when I was only doing the other medical channel, when no one could find me, when no one knew where I was, no problems with the computer. They left me alone. I'm just looking at the moon a little bit. And I'm gonna roll into a bunch of videos on the moon. Now, in the last 5 or 6 parts of the series, I showed you, just go online and download some moon photographs, right? You don't have to be bothered with the videos. Just have some fun with it, looking at on there. Now I got a whole pile of them here, of different moon photographs that I had printed up over the last couple of years. And a lot of them are mine. A lot of them are from my cheap little telescope. Now, I got that cheap little telescope and that cheap little, they're shit telescopes, but it's fine. It does the same thing as you guys. I understand, again, too, you got a $2,000 telescope, and I'm going to be able to show you some shit when we're looking at the moon, that how, I don't want to say useless, but it doesn't really matter, because you can take the same shot, right, with a cheap telescope from out here, right? And then what you're going to do with your telescope is you're going to be able to zoom. I can zoom in with this one anyways. With that one there, I can zoom right in like this. Because what I'm going to say is this. When you zoom in like this, there's a lot of imagery down in here. I was showing you guys the other day when I was doing the other one. So let me try to stay steady, and I'll show you. Okay, you see all the faces? And I don't even have my lights adjusted or nothing. It's no big deal. But you see all the faces? So if you're zooming in on the moon with your telescope, let's say you pick a spot. This is really great evidence for you. This is really good evidence for you. Pick a spot on the moon. For example, the seashell, right? Just take the seashell. And then with your telescope, go ahead and go right in on the seashell, right? And get it in there. Get it way the fuck in there. I'm actually got glare going on. I can move this though and get rid of it. Let's see. Where am I? Where's that seashell? Right there. All right. So I'm going to go in real hard on the seashell, right? So once I get down in there with your telescope and you take the picture, it'll be much clearer than this. I'd have to back out, or I have to change my light angle. Hold on a minute. I'll go like this so you can get it better for you. There we go. All right. So that's all this dark area right there, the larger dark area. That's what that is. And I can start pulling in the imagery for you. It's just, I have to set my lights up and shit like that. I'm going to. I'm going to get all over this in a minute. Anyways, once you start doing this, right, when you go in hard, I can do the same thing with the camera, just on a photograph like this, and it's the same imagery. That's great evidence for, what the hell's going on, And then I think you will be satisfied once you look at a couple million images that are in the moon, right? And that sounds like a lot. It's really not. It's really not. When I was first finding this too, it's a lot of time to go in on the deep down ones, and I'll start pointing at a lot of these and stuff like that. And I'm moving my camera kind of fast, but You should be able to catch some of these images. It's image within image within image within image, everywhere, from the veil to the ground. And I could put filters on here too, and I might. But I'm going to have a lot of fun anyways over the next few days. Because, I mean, they're fucking with me anyway on every level. YouTube's crushing me anyway, so to go on to another channel and do another series with you. That's another thing I'll say too, is that Ziggy, we need to agree on who we're going to do the series to, because I don't want to waste my time with doing a series. I always usually add somebody's name to the series, even if I'm doing with somebody who does not have a lot of subs, because I'm trying to get this out there. Get rid of the glare. Because I'm trying to get this out there, if I do somebody that's like setting up a new channel, then I don't really know if you're someone that's just fucking with me to distract me so that I'm not able to get the word out there, you know. That's the whole point of what I'm doing and calling people out, is that I want them to go look and for them to start being honest with everyone about what it is, you know. I know you don't agree with that. I know you don't think that that's, even a fact, but it is. They're all liars. They're all fucking liars. They're full of shit. Every fucking one of them, including us, including me. That's what I'm saying. Go look for yourself. So, I didn't know I was a lying motherfucker all my life. I figured it out slowly. So anyways, I've got some people on that I wanted to call out, and I wanted to keep rolling. I don't know if you're going to be okay with going on the series with them, so I'll give you a few of them names and see if you want to come in with me. And you're going to have your own say in everything. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to include you in with what I'm doing, because we're emailing and talking on the phone. I don't feel like you're able to give your 2 cents. And it doesn't mean that I'm looking, if it's insulting or whatever, I don't care about that. If it goes against what I'm trying to show you, I'm fine with that. I'm hoping that you'll come around to keep looking and looking and looking, and then you'll finally start seeing it all. And that's the only thing I can hope for with anybody. I mean, it's unbelievable. The fucking imagery is fucking banging, everywhere. I mean, if you're not seeing it yet, just hang in there. I'll keep going with it. But this is the moon that we're looking at now. So if you go ahead and print up the moon, those ones that you should be downloaded, you probably already got them downloaded, or you should have anyways from what we talked about. So you download those photos. I know you have your own, and that's fine. Use your own too. But what I'm saying is, for comparison, to know that the imagery never changes. I'm going to also ask you too, before you jump on the space alien invasion with all this, to really look at it, and that's fine if you do jump on that bandwagon with it all. But I can easily prove you wrong. Like, if you start coming up with some of these eyes and stuff, that kind of might go space alien-ish, that's fine. It gives me something to do. It gives me something to talk about, questions that people would normally have. Hey, that particular image there kind of looks like a space alien, so at least we can talk about why you think that. Because you've been programmed to think that. I mean, the imagery is like so crisp and clear, really. I don't know how this particular video come out. We'll see. I'll show you how to do all this. It's very simple. Now that I've got the moon printed up, I'm bringing some lights around so that I have control over my lights. I got a black light, a red light, a blue light. I got different lights set up. So I've got control over that. I just something I learned. I also put it on a little clamp, and I also put a black background. And if I can keep the glare out of it by keeping them bulbs out of my way, it'll be better for your eyes. You'll be able to see the imagery more clearly. And just to remind you, for just a couple minutes that I was just looking around, we've only been looking in one direction. And according to your circles, if you believe in them, there's 360 degrees of them. So we're only looking in 1 degree, and this is all the shit we're seeing. But I'm also angling a lot, and I'm also changing depth in order to bring you all the images that I'm bringing you. And I'll keep on bringing them to you. I'm gonna really lay into the moon so fucking heavy in this one because I'm really fucking pissed about the obvious reasons. I'm fucking pissed. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna drop the Harald series for you, Ziggy. I know you wanted me to drop it too. I'm not doing that. They'll have to kill the channel before I fucking drop it. But it is being reported and everything like that. I don't know if by you too, but I know others are reporting the videos as, I don't know, trash talk, I guess. I don't know. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll start going through all these. I'm not going to make a long video now. I'll put some videos together tomorrow. Oops. I'll put some videos together tomorrow on it. I was just setting some stuff up. I figured I'd just do a quick one. Because there's so much to show you, like there's all these different layers, like even in the moon, right? Over here, there's some images in here, but they're in another layer, and you can see that they're in another layer. They're not the deep down ones. And let me see if I can get them for you in that left corner. I can get you a lot of them. Yeah, I can get you a lot of them. So, so in other words, all these that I'm going to be pointing at in the next couple of days, they'll all be standing out. And then some of these other ones that are in the lighter colors, you'll be able to see they have a different depth to them. In other words, they look like they're closer to you, like a three-dimensional type thing. You're starting to see some of them, and then when I crop and I take lights in and out and stuff, you'll be able to see them better. A lot of times it is tough when I'm doing videos to show you things, because what happens is angles. If my eyes, because right now I'm way to the left of my camera, and the camera's looking dead on, so I'm at an angle from my camera. If I have the ability to stay direct straight with my camera, then I notice I have less of a problem with that. So in other words, a lot of times I'll be pointing and I'll be saying eye, nose, mouth, and I might be off a little bit because I'm at a different angle. And sometimes I'm even looking at a different image with my eyes because I'm at a different angle to the camera. Then later when I watch the video back, I'm like, oh, I see the other one that I see now, but it's not the one that I was pointing at. Shit like that, I'll say too, as we start going to look around in the moon, right, Ziggy? What to do is when you start doing this, just for the sake of it, just while we're doing the series together, you don't have to be fixated on it. I'm not saying you have to believe what I'm saying. I'm suggesting to you that once you see it, you'll get it, you'll understand it. So just go ahead and allow yourself to see it. And what I'm talking about is the builders. Don't worry about it. Once you start seeing them, so that's why I'm saying pay attention to the triangular shapes you see everywhere. All triangular shapes that you're seeing, whether it's in the trees, the bushes, the landscapes, whatever you're doing, and the filters will help you to see that too. That's why I'm using these colored bulbs, actually, is because I'm pulling some color in without the filters. I'm adding some contrast to the moon without using the filter. Same thing they do with the mineral streets. Oh, so that's another thing. So what am I at for minutes? All right, I'm fine. So these are the three things that anybody else that comes to these videos. So for the rest of Harold's series, because this is where I'm going to be starting out on a new series with Ziggy, we're going to start a new series, but I'm going to still take Harold's series up to probably 200-300 parts or whatever, because I'm just fucking pissed right now about my computer more than anything. Anyways, we're going to go through the moon. I want to be able to show you thoroughly the EMNC. These are what I'm talking about, are the triangular builders, and I'm going to show them to you in every situation. The moon, I'm not going to bother with the veil, of course. I'm still staying away from the veil, but the moon, the cloud level, the ground level, mountains, rocks, stones, atmosphere, all this kind of shit, right? We're going to go into all this, and these are the triangular shapes. I don't think I've even shown you this yet, Ziggy. I don't think you've even gone through this. But it's the point is, you know the triangular shapes, right? If you go through my series that I've made, I've gone back and forth with how many there is. Really, all these triangles are just one. It's just one. And now, Ziggy helped me with something, too, and I'll say thank you to that. I think I'm going to say thank you, because I think you might be right. The Metellus. Ziggy and I are going to go through the moon. We're going to go through the EMNC, and then we're going to work on the Metellus, which I don't have nothing set up for. And I'm going to do all that to finish off under Harold's series, but Ziggy is going to be starting the same exact thing, the moon, the EMNC, and the Metellus. He's going to do that on his channel. And he's not going to put, and then he's only making the research vids, I guess is my point, on his channel. Then I'm going to come in under another channel and remaster them. I'll let you know on the Michael Oziak channel later where it's going to be. I don't think I'm even going to use the Miguel Everyone channel either. I don't know what I'm going to use. I don't want to use Flat Earth Mountain either, because I just like to use that channel to later go back after a few Flat Earthers that I like. So I'll probably save that channel for that. And I'm gonna try to stay on busting the balls of the ball worshippers. I don't know what kind of stupid name I'm supposed to call them, but people that believe that there's an outer space, the way that we've been told, that science has told us. And I know it's hard to believe with all the rockets and satellite shit and all the movies and television and school and education. I know it's hard to believe that many people would fucking be this stupid. But it's not ignorance. It's really not. It's not ignorance. We know what we're doing. We sold ourselves out. We lie like a motherfucker to ourselves to protect ourselves. We lie to ourselves all the time about zillions of things a fucking day just to get through an average day. Because that we have to. Otherwise, we would have a breakdown. It's that mirror neuron. The mirror neuron manipulator is so fucking needed. And if you want, Ziggy, I'll throw some of that at you during your series as well. Because that's going to sound crazy to you too right now, because you don't know what I'm talking about, probably. Nobody does, because it's something I just noticed myself. Okay, to stay on task anyways, that's what we're going to go over, and that's what Ziggy's mostly interested. So I'm going to finish up Harold's series, going over these same things to end Harold's series. So Harold's series is just going to end in the moon. Oh yeah, this is a good one too. Okay. Yeah, the moon and seen something that I wanted to get in on before. He's right there. I'm trying to get him the best. Over here somewhere. So the moon, the Metellus, and the EMNC. And when I don't have names for everything. I make up the names as I go along. The name EMNC, the initials, electromagnetic nanocarbon, I stole from the fake system. That was words that they gave me. I have no choice but to use them, just so people know what the hell I'm talking about. Electromagnetic nanocarbon. So yeah, I would love to come up with new terminology for a lot of the things that I'm doing. trying to get you right now, the one I'm trying to bring you in on right now, I'll change my lights up later. I still haven't even touched none of it. But there is a dude sitting here. His face is right here. That's pretty obvious, right? Eye, nose, mouth. But you got some body imagery because at one angle, this is one shoulder, this dark area, that's his other shoulder, and he's wearing apparel in a couple different directions. It's a necklace or a chain that he's wearing. And in every direction, it's a black dude. So that's what I keep saying about the races and stuff like that. We all stem from one. The sexes, the races, everything all stems from one. Just trying to find his best angle. I'm losing him everywhere I go, but it's alright. There's all kinds of other imagery that you should be catching. Right? I mean, look at this shit, man. It always amazes me that no one fucking sees it. Even when you show it to them, they fucking run away. Because it does not go along with any of their programs. It's gonna freak you out, man. I'm telling you right now, even you, Ziggy. Because you think that everything is fucking space alien shit and all that nonsense that Harold's throwing at you. It's nothing to do with none of that shit, man. And don't get all biblical about it either, because it's nothing to do with any of that either. So just, don't rush. Just keep looking. Just keep looking at it. Once you see what I'm showing you now, which should not be deniable to anybody anymore as far as I'm concerned. I fucking see it plain as day. And if I'm able to bring it to you and show it to you this fucking good and explain it this well, also, because it's been a couple of years. And I'm not claiming that I got it all figured out. That's not my claim. It's fucking unbelievable, man. Unfucking real. So this is another, and this is only, again, at one angle, pretty much one depth. I'm not going in real heavy. I mean, if I go in heavy, it's in here. Again, there's your area that I was saying to you before. If you pick one area and you keep going around it and around it, like take the seashell, that's what I'm centered on right now, is a seashell. Now, if I keep changing my lights, I'm even better off, because changing light spectrum, changing angles, and I'm staying at these one angles. So once I start changing angles like this, and then you got depth also, you can go down real deep, and I can get you all those. Let me go slow down a little. Okay, just to let you know, my camera's almost on the table, so let you know. And I'm just picking different angles that'll grab different images. Yeah, came back out. I'm about an inch and a half maybe away from the table. And then again, this is only this from here to here. So what is that? Maybe not even 7 degrees. So I'm doing a 7-degree turn, and I can change the imagery that many times. So imagine when I get it all the way over to the other side, and then change color, distance, all that. It all changes it all up, because it's all about the lights and shadows, not because space aliens are up there fucking controlling the whole fucking thing. It's fucking stupid, man. Ziggy, you made a point about that, about the space aliens, and I'll mention that too. Ziggy was asking me, or making a point, that space aliens possibly could be somewhere else here on this Earth, and we just never get to them, or something of that nature. And that would work out on a moon map model, that there's some other creature or species that's here. But I would just account that as the builders. They're here. They're here on our side too. They're with us all the time. They're all around us. These triangular shapes are building us. They build everything in this realm. So I could show you this more clearly, what I'm talking about on the moon map model, but you said you don't want to be bothered with the moon map model. So I'm not going to bother bringing you into it, but towards the end of Harold's series, maybe I'll just see, like, if this guy Rufus keeps busting my balls, because Rufus is probably Harold, I'm thinking. And so if Rufus keeps busting my balls, and I'm going to get another computer. I got to get another computer this week or next week in order to finish this series anyway. And depending on what happens with that, it depends on how bad I'm going to hit them up. You know, so whatever, because I mean, I could throw all kinds of shit up in Harold's face, but he also has some good points too. So I should not get angry, because that's what I'm saying to him. You're getting angry just because of the things that I'm calling you out on. So I don't want to do the same thing that I'm accusing him of. So I don't want to get pissed off and not be thorough and not be honest. In other words, don't only say bad shit about Harold and leave out all the good stuff, because Harold's got a lot of good shit that he talks about that works right along with what I'm telling you about the EMNC. The heavy metals, for example, the heavy metals and minerals and things of this nature, he's going to probably, if he was a real person and he came in here and he wasn't offended by what I was saying, then he would go look at all this and he would be able to put it together faster. But there are certain things that worry me, that make me think that he may not be, we're going to have a good time on the fucking moon, man. I mean, you guys ain't seeing this shit that I'm just getting so fucking good at being able to show you guys how to go see this for yourself. It's not a magic trick. I'm not a fucking CGI guy. You can all go do this. It's so fucking easy. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, to point it out to you how easy it all is, you know? I'm going to start going over some of my notes soon. Again, the Ziggy. I'm just putting shit together in my head like I'm always doing as I'm going along. And I'm going to introduce you. You already know about the biometallists. You call them biomites. I'm going to show you the ones that concern me the most. The spider mites, dust mites, fungus mites, bird mites, because I'm going to show, and by the way, thank you, Ziggy, because I think this is the word that I'm looking for. I don't know. Because what I'm claiming is that all the metallists are one metallus that all branch off, and they don't start at a nano size and go to a bio size. They're always in constant change of anything. So any adaptation that they need. That's why I was calling it hybriding. I kept saying hybriding. And according to Ziggy, he's saying if it's in a constant state of flux is what I was describing to him. So that's what he thinks that I should call it. So fuck it, I'll try it. Maybe you science guys will end up liking that terminology. I don't know. But you get the idea. Biometallus. 2,500 strains of biometallus that the medical industry, science admits to. They also admit to not knowing about another 10,000 plus strains of a biometallus. They admit that. They admit there's 10,000 they don't know about. I'm going to tell you they do know about them. We all know about them. We all fucking see them. They're everywhere. Can't get away from them. We just lie about it to ourselves so we don't have to feel so shitty that we fucking just so terrible that we did everything that we did. Anyways, what am I at for minutes? Oh, fuck. Let's try to get through this quick. I'll go through all this shit again later, but electrometallus, meat metallus, skin metallus, these are just a few of them that when they start hybriding from here and going over to here, like even these bird metallus, there's a lot of the bird metallus because some of them are scale metallus, and those scale metallus will eat when they get into a human and in a bird and anywhere else they go into, because they can go into the animals as well, cats and everything like that. They're so full of shit when they tell you that the bird metallus can't transfer. They're full of shit. They transfer all the fucking time. It's just that when they go in and when they turn into, hybrid into, flux into another strain, then all of a sudden they don't recognize them. So what, you don't recognize that certain electrometallus electrometallus are giving out webs, which they shouldn't even be called spider webs. Again, they don't look like fucking spider webs, and they're not used the same way that a spider web uses spider webs, or nothing. So we shouldn't even, all this terminology should all be changed around. I will as I go along, but I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Just ridiculous, man. Anyways, hybrid metallus. In other words, any of these that fluctuate into these. Now they can go back that way too, though. So you know what I mean. So you can go any which way. So you got 10,000 of those. Then the electrometallus. The reason why they're electrometallus is because once they turn into this strain, once they flux into or flow or whatever you want to call it into this particular strain, they no longer have any of the things we were talking about. No more legs, no more mouth, no more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to draw you out some and then I'll show you some. I got plenty of fucking metallus laying around. You do too, though. So that's why I'm going to ask you, Ziggy, when we start our series, you don't have to go. I'm going to show you how to do it all through this series, through the Harald Kautz series. Then when we choose whoever we're going to hit next, that's when you can come in and then we'll do our series together. I think it'll be perfect. But I mean, just make sure you choose somebody that I'm going to want to bust their balls. Okay, then you got, so you usually got hundreds of thousands of those strains. The electrometallus, there's hundreds of thousands of those strains. And you can see them with your eyes, by the way, too. They do get very tiny. They get very tiny, but you can still see them with your eyes. So we're going to go through a bunch of those. I will show them to you with your eyes, so you can just see them with your eyes. Then you're going to say, no, that's not what that is. You're going to say that's dust. Or you're going to say that's pollen. Or you're going to say that's rust. Or you're going to say that's, you're going to have all the different sciencey terms for it. It's all the fucking metallus. Some of them run on the electrical system, some of them run on BIOS. So the ones that I was talking about up here, the bird metallus ones, there's certain bird metallus ones that are, I call them the scale metallus. There's about 6 or 7 different types of them, from a bio size all the way down to a nano size. But the bio sizes that you can watch them work and you can watch them do, they're certainly transferable to humans. And they like fingernails, bones, cartilage, that kind of shit. And they're the ones that when they get down to a nano size, they would cause all those things: arthritis, muscle fatigue, bone structure damage, all that kind of shit would be that particular one when you watch them cross. And they all cross all back and forth all over the fucking place to like this. And it doesn't matter. Whatever situation you put these bastards in, they will then all of a sudden adapt to that system and become that. I'm going to go through a bunch of medical shit that I can prove, that we can simply prove just by watching the metallus. You watch them on the bio, the hybrid, the electros, and you watch them on all those things, then you can now see the nano, because I'm going to show you how to see the nano. It's very simple. I do have kilos for these. I've been mentioning them as we go along. Hydrogen peroxide would be one. 190 proof alcohol is another one. Coconut oil is another killer. Frequency unknown I put down because I don't know what the exact hertz is really yet. I'm still playing with all that. I did get a couple good ideas from you though on that over the last few weeks, so I'm going to try it. I already told you about that on the phone. Light spectrum unknown. Ultraviolet light is the only light that I can see. The ultraviolet is the one that I might have got it confused, but I thought the tanning beds that's what I was trying to say, and I thought they were ultraviolet. I don't know. I could be wrong about that according to Z. But anyways, I'm going to show you how they all switch over and how they relate to all these. So you can look how certain ones that are fucking up our electrical system, like Alzheimer's, you'll notice that Alzheimer's will be the ones that are working in the electrical system. They're not so much a biofungus problem. They're a metal and mineral rust is how I describe them. And when you see that, when you look at it on a heavy metal and see rust on it, those little flakes that fall off, again, you're not going to be able to understand where I'm going with this, that's going to be a metallus. That's going to be one of the electrometallus, is what we call rust. And then another one, funguses. There's so many strains of funguses. There's so many molds and funguses and all that, right? So what I'm going to be telling you, that's going to be coming up. So be ready for it. And you're not going to fucking, I know you're not going to agree with me, but just give it a chance. Look at it. Think about it. Okay, all these funguses also count. Every little nanospeck of a fungus counts as a nanometallus, and they all work and build together to build what we call funguses, which counts for candidas, gout, all these other different more or less bio. They're more on a bio scale because they're the funguses, right? Then you can go to the respiratories for the pneumonias, and you can see where all those are a mixture of different, like I was saying, to call them symptoms, because that's what they are. We make all these things, all these sicknesses, and there's hundreds of them that I already got figured out. There's many electrical ones that I still have not gotten figured out, and there's plenty of work for everybody if anybody wants to go and look at this shit. Pollens, dusts, and funguses. I was already looking into that because originally when I found all this, I thought that the nanometallus and the electrodes were going to be running inside the pollens, inside the dust, inside the fungus, and like eating the fungus, eating the dust, eating the pollens. No, what they're eating is they're eating the leftovers. So in other words, the metalluses only live 6 hours to 48 hours on average. All of them, any of them, they don't live long. They're all about laying the fucking eggs as fast as they can, as many as they can, and most of them are born pregnant. They're not having, none of them are having sex. When they get down to the electro size, they're not having sex anymore. So I know for sure, where am I pointing at the wrong thing? I know for sure when they get down to the nano size, they're definitely don't need to have sex anymore because they already stop at the electrodes when they lose their legs, their mouth, their ears, everything else, So I know about all that. There's a lot of places where they come in. Fluoride. I used to think that they were in the fluoride. No, fluoride. They are the metallus. They are certain strains of metallus make up what we call fluoride. So that's what I also just figured out in the last year or so, working with other people doing these series. Actually, even when they were trying to fuck me up and go against me, it always worked out. Because I would just figure them out for the liars that they were, and I'd go the opposite direction. And then sure enough, don't be afraid to see it for what it is. So anyways, a few other things. What am I at for minutes? 42 minutes. Holy fuck. I'll blow through. We'll talk about like BC to present, stone buildings, castles, walls around cities, towns, churches, government buildings, right? They were all made of stones, which all carried heavy metal properties. Again, this is where Harald's correct about a lot of this shit that he's talking about. The heavy metals do make a big difference. All right, they reflect, enhance, transfer, and conduct energy. That's what those buildings did. But then all the peons, the rest of the zombie slaves, all of us, we did it a little different. So BC to present, you got clay bricks, wood, and synthetics from BC to present. That's what we did. Homes, schools, and our places of employment. That's where we were. So notice the shape of the windows. Notice the shape and look at the height of the buildings. Everything were 200 feet if you were in a castle. The stones were different. Everything was different. Different sine waves, different sound resonance, giving and taking from this structure. A lot better chi. If you're into that, a lot of better feng shui, okay. And what these were doing, the clay molds, is absorbing the energies. Square windows, square doors, no, I'm not even going to get into the cathedral ceiling things. Anything circle, round, half moons, like the from the Roman times on. All that stuff. That was also really fucking up our sound resonance. That was fucking up our sine waves. The triangles, that's what we want to be at. Triangles. Everything should be triangles, because when the wind's blowing through the fucking castle, you want that particular sound resonance of the triangular shapes. Our system is triangular. It's all triangular builders. We also should be triangular builders, and we went against it. We're fucking lying motherfuckers, and we build square, circle, round, make up zeros, infinities, make up all this fucking shit. Moons, a circle. The Mars is a circle full of shit. Anyways, clay buildings. Fuck, this is gonna end any minute now. Clay buildings, wood buildings. Anyways, absorb energy, dissolve energy. The mineral streets I want to get into talking to you about too, Ziggy. Because again, this is going to go with what Harold's saying about the Metellus, and when we roll into our series, we should do this too. What am I at? All right, so that's it. I'm out of time anyway, and now I guess I can only do a few videos a day on any of this stuff. Yeah, so I wanted to be able to explain a lot of this stuff. The mineral streets, the reasoning for it. It's not, space alien fibers or anything like that. Harold's lying to you about all that stuff, but we can follow the church through the pipes to the 2,000 people singing in the church cathedral, right? And then the height and the shape of it, and then you add that up, the bell tower. You look at the hertz. You look at all the churches, what they're sending up for sound resonance at different periods of time in order to do that. So the foundation from the height, feet above sea level, is also going to add to the height. How high up on the hill is this church? Stone buildings, all these things to send the energy up and retrieve it for both. What am I at? All right, it's probably already ended already. Okay, I'll be back.